boosted. I think we're coming close to like level 30 something also. We found like a vitality sword the last time, two-hander, which is an okay-ish upgrade for me, definitely. We check this guy first. Look at this ointment right here. Vitality resistance. We grab that thing. That's very good. Yeah, the second is going to be Necromancer, but we don't necessarily need to give anything at all for now. It's okay. Something about these insects. They give so much experience, you guys. Just so you know. They can also drop like ancient hearts and stuff. Krylek is saying in the chat that he hates searching for the hive in this place, the royal hive. I'm not necessarily that good at like finding it either, but I'll show you like where I'm hitting at least. I do believe that I'm covering almost all of it. This is a really good drop as well. It does convert to lightning in this case. And also on top of it, it doesn't necessarily give us the casting speed. So I do believe the Vitality one is just a little bit better than the lightning one. They're both really good. The only problem is that I want you to understand while watching this video as a new player is that they are both not what we are searching for. It is always better to stick to one damage. In this case, our damage is physical and trauma, and these are like vitality and lightning, and they're converting. The conversions are happening at the start. So what that means is that before my all damage or like my lightning, my physical damage applies to the damage that my weapon has, it converts. Now it is lightning, and so therefore my physical is not, multiplying the lightning damage anymore. So messing around with like conversions while playing, especially in the early levels, is not necessarily the best thing that you can do because you're literally nerfing your character. And the DPS numbers that you see while comparing two weapons is not necessarily the most reliable thing. I mean, it is if you're just using auto attack. So there's another valuable spot somewhere around here that you can hit. It doesn't necessarily have like a one-shot chest, but it has like good amounts of loot, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere to the left side. It's been a while I haven't been there, so I'm kind of like choking, but I think it's somewhere here. It's like harpies and stuff are like attacking you. Yeah, it is here. We can hit this place right now. We should probably use the new weapon as well, even though it is lightning, up until level 32. Why not? Let's do it. How many rolling bloods did we manage to like complete so far? We could also put those into our rings. Remember, like when you're using a component, you're not necessarily like wasting it. As long as you want to keep the item, you can always take it out anyways. So that's alright. Rip always. Pretty much. Alright, so we use this weapon now as new. And we can put like those rolling so I just start going basically like northwest all the time. And there's a couple of spots that I'm gonna hit. There's like an Aether ground over here. I just make sure that I pass the Aether ground instead of going from the right side. And then I think the middle part is the one. Yeah, I start from here. It's big zone. I check the right side. Sometimes the entrance is to the right of this. And then sometimes even more right, I think. But like from here, I think it's better to just go up. Yeah, so it's over here. There's one more. And that is on the left side over there where I'm marking with my mouse. So if these 4 spots are not there, I think the last spot is somewhere to the right side, which I'm not really sure. As I said, like, I'm not necessarily that good at like finding the spots, but it doesn't take me too long to find it either, so I don't know the spawn points exactly, at least. Yeah, it's a good place to like farm the serrated spikes in. For some reason, as I said, like this royal hive and these insects, they're ridiculous experience, guys. Like if you feel like farming just a little bit of experience, just make sure you clear this place completely. There's also a one-shot chest in this place, you should find it. Nice. If you're playing some sort of like a melee character, like a Nightblade or something, and you're searching for one-handers, this is a good place to farm the one-handers at the same time, especially if you're like a Pierce. But as I said before, you need to find something that doesn't convert to anything else. That might be the annoying part, but you will probably find it. Like this thing is converting to coal. I mean, it will still be an upgrade probably if you have like a really shitty weapon, but it's better to find one that doesn't, so. Yo, what's up, Eric? Welcome. Thanks. Kraken is really strong early game, yes. It's incredible. I mean, if you somehow playing with something like a warder, like a lightning two-handed warder or something, something that will use the attack speed, like in that case, it is absolutely insane. Like in our case, we are using force wave, so as I said at the very beginning of the video, like it is utilizing the cast speed rather than attack speed, which is kind of weird always to me, but yeah. So the attack speed nodes are like not necessarily important for me other than the health. But yeah, if you're playing something that's like both two-hand and attack speed, it's just insane. There's no other constellation like that. It's capable of like being rushed at the very beginning of a character as well, so you will have even more damage than me right now. I'm not gonna answer that poison, not right now. It's Clora is there, finally, saying just started leveling in Necromancer and hardcore, gets inspired by your usage of like skeletons and chose the same path. It's literally one-hand gaming. It is hilarious. It they're really cool actually. So where was I going again? I was going for like the Panther, right? Okay. Panther's alright. It's not so bad. So we have like Elixir of the Void. Doesn't matter so much. Ray Clouds with like casting speed and elemental damage. Hitting these like corpses, small chests. When your account is fresh, they're really, really important. Giving so many components and they all add up. You definitely don't play the same way when you're like leveling the second or the third time. Definitely not. The quests that you hit, especially on the first difficulty changes, basically because you will have experience potions from the Malmouth resistance, right? So you'll be out leveling the quests, there's no necessity anymore. And you won't need to pick every single serrated spike or something, you know, so you don't necessarily need to like hit every egg in this place. And it's interesting. I think that's really important for replayability. This guy doesn't care about my blitz. He can stand and tank it. No ancient hearts. And on his day as well. Is it softcore? Yes. The reason we are on softcore, it can go to YouTube as well. Basically, it's because like I couldn't figure out how to start a fresh character without keeping like closing my cloud. So I usually just play hardcore, and I really needed to have like a complete flesh account for what we are doing right now for this DK, so that it's like a new player experience. And I have to go through the same things as a new player needs to, like, goes through as well. So I think the easiest way to fix it was just basically opening its own softcore, because I've never played its own softcore, so everything is, you know, fine. I don't necessarily see myself dying, but shit can happen, I suppose. It's alright. Like, otherwise, how I would have done is that, like, close the Steam Cloud save, right? Just cut and paste my entire save folder to somewhere else for now, I suppose. And, yeah, then open this character. But I really didn't want to mess around like that, I think. Elixir of Aether. I got scared of this a bit. Alright, that was hard for him. Pierce resistance. Okay, Charmer. And physique and armor absorption as well. At this point, the armor absorption doesn't necessarily have any importance, let's say. I like those boosts. Do we have like any movement speed boosts right now? We do. We can put this on top of it. So our movement speed right now, run speed is 132, which is really good. 135 is the cap. floating eyeball, man. It's the perfect combination. Now there's an elite. Intensius. I think I like completely butchered its name, but what is Intesius or something like that? I'm not really sure. Looks like a pistol, isn't it? The retribution thingy. We can leave it for now, it's okay. So, 0 Aether resistance. We definitely shouldn't be failing on the waves that this character will be creating. The amalgamation. I suppose the geysers as well, but oh, he's gonna die before he can use the waves, actually. That's just hilarious. Our damage is really good. There's some chests over here if you would like to get it a bit greedier. Gold bend. Left side is done. So that is really important. We have the new two-hander now. Before I forget, I'm gonna like put a chip claw on this new two-hander as well, guys. Take this add-on out, put it over there. We have slams again. Right, very good. Hey, Ready and Arachner, welcome, bros. So over here, like, it's a, you know, weird sort of a moment that you need to like select either or Kaiman or the Death Vigil. What you basically do is like you speak to one, and the last option is always like asking them what sort of equipment they're offering. And you basically see that as physical, fire, and lightning. Okay, this is for me. You know what I mean? And at the very end, we will most likely be turning into Aether, but to be honest with you, at that point, it doesn't necessarily matter that much. Cold Vitality and minions, but they don't necessarily offer Aether anyway. So we're gonna go with the Kaiman. Personally, my favorite is Kaiman. Some people definitely likes Death Vigil quests a little bit more. I don't, because there's like a stupid quest in the Aether with the Death Vigil that I really dislike. Let's do the Conflag Lost Cannons quest as well. By the way, we're really close to the Olorun's range. I think I need like 2 more levels. That's going to be big. That's going to be really big. Okay, we need to clean our bags after this. The amalgamation place or conflagration. Our movement speed is getting up there as well. Checking out resistances and stuff, it's sitting on like 30%, I think, poison resistance, which is quite low. The rest is manageable, it looks like. Obviously, like Aether, White City, and Chaos is really low right now. Those will be a little bit like more manageable when we reach like level 35. And respected status with like multiple Towers Rovers, for instance, pretty close to respected. We could kill like a couple of skeletons somewhere for them. I would not mind. Sometimes there's an easy target to charge from here, so you can like definitely choose that road. But if you're scared from the Aether ground, this side right over here is a lot simpler to just cross. The other side is a little bit rippier. Depends on the character that you're playing. If you're playing like an Arcanist or something, you can definitely just like use an immunity and cross from the middle as well. That path is shorter. This is a hard fight. Remember our Aether potion. If things are going really hard, I'm just gonna buff it. It turned out to be okay. For some reason, Herald of the Flame doesn't necessarily want to attack me, so might as well. I think he just like casted one wall and tried to come to me. That was it. The Arcane Storm. Can I carry you somehow? Probably. There we go. One more dynamite here. Chaos resistance, pierce damage. Guys, remember the level 35. We are looking forward to level 35. Ring of Steel isn't so bad. The armor on it isn't bad either. But I think I'm searching for something that is gonna make me resistant. Something like this. These pens are like really good leveling pens, you guys. They basically single-handedly fix your poison resistance for the most part. I usually use them. If I find them while leveling, that is. It's not so bad either. It also gives like chaos resistance. It's probably better than what I'm using right now. It requires level 40. That's going to take me a while to use. Let's see if we are going to be like finding a better shoulders till then. So let's observe this thing. Fire damage conversion with attack speed. See, attack speed is like inflating the DPS number that is being compared right now, which we don't necessarily care whatsoever while using Force Fate. That's the main reason why we are getting like DPS, even though the left side is most likely a lot better than mine. Chaos Resistance belt. At this point I kind of want to replace my belt, but that belt is still terrible other than Chaos Resistance. Just never mind it. I am waiting for like a button from Forgotten Gods on the right side or over here. When I press it, I want every single component to come to my main bag. No matter if they're like, you know, stacking up or not. not sure if these guys are capable of dropping the Chthonic Seal of Findings. No idea. They should be able to. Why not? That Vitality Ground was like a lot bigger than what the circle was suggesting. Why do you have so many attack binds? The more you have, the more damage it deals. I'm just joking around. It's just to be silly. Nothing else. One binding over there. Oh, this guy was really susceptible to trauma and fizz apparently, guys. He just died instantly. So there's like a good treasure on the left side of the map as well. This thing right next to the tree. Stable. Well, in this case it didn't really like drop me an item, but you should be really careful with the Bloodletters and Harbingers, guys. Especially if you have absolute no chaos resistance like me. 0 chaos resistance right now. Their explosion at the very end is really, really strong. Versus no chaos resistance, and they also have like a debuff that is minus 24 chaos resistance if I'm not mistaken, so you will be even more wide open against them. There's someone called Bolvar in this place. I kind of want to kill him for the loot, even though we don't necessarily need to kill him for a quest right now, but having a hard time finding him right now. I think we're almost done. Yeah, I have like all the insignias. I have the devotion. We could use like one more seal of finding, I suppose, but that's about it. So unless he's here, we kind of like skipped Bolvar at this point. He might actually be there, right next to me where I am. We could drop a portal here, go get to waypoints. I kind of want to kill Bolvar. It's going to be kind of challenging, but I think I want it. Another thing is that like I hate my gloves right now, but you could definitely apply something called the Unholy Inscription when it's completed. It's been on the back of my mind for some time, but I forgot. That's giving you bleed and white resistance, and it's pretty good. Especially versus like Act 3, I think is when you start caring about like white resistance. You should probably like apply that. So right now we're doing it pretty fucking late even. Like it should have been a lot earlier than this for sure. Holy shit, the layout. Okay, I'm gonna take the long road, I don't mind. It's alright. Kinda wanna kill him so bad, so. How's it going, Goon? Ah, there he is, there he is. Let's clear around a little bit. I don't necessarily know how hard quest, I think we go for like Fort Heron for the Islands once again. Trying to kill as many of these guys as possible. I don't necessarily know how long it takes to get the respected with the Kaiman, but it might actually be quite important too. We are almost level 35, so that's going to be when respected is important, so might as well try it with the Kaiman too. Like right now, we're not even middle parts of friendly, so suppose it will be like in midway of like Act 4 or something, we'll see. I choose to go from the right side always, but like from the left side over here, you could actually find some... the right side is closer. From the left side, you can find some like undeads. And on top of that, like you can find some like lore to read if you're into it. Or if you just want the experience out of it, for sure. And they usually drop from these bookcases over here. It is. There's actually multiple, if I'm not mistaken, but I would heavily suggest you to like read them before continuing, so that it doesn't drop the same thing again. This time we only get one. Too bad. I don't really know like if this bookcase, for instance, is capable of dropping something. Don't know. Maybe it is. So from here, definitely right side, guys, because of the dynamite. This is 100% dynamite spawn. There's one more on the like right next to the boss. So if you farm this place, you will always find 2 dynamites. What did you say? Anything is fine. Hmm? No. I think we're okay. I'm gonna kind of go out of my way a little bit, do this side as well. Yeah, simply because of the rows for the most part. It's kind of annoying me that like we're so close to respected and I couldn't get it. That's alright now. I should have killed like more skeletons in the Kilrian players. Because the next time that we're going to be fighting undead is going to be well, Steps of Torment, I suppose. Kamen's like halfway now. We're pretty much done with the Kaiman at this point. In Act 3, that is. The next one is in Act 4. We can focus back to like the homestead stuff. Yo, see a second. Alright, we have the Oleron Rage. So what is Oleron Rage again? It's like Fizz and Trauma damage upgrades, most likely. There's offensive ability percentage, movement speed, and flat trauma as well to every single weapon attack that you make. Let's finish Act 3, and then go back to Homestead. pixel, my pathing is always the same. Like if you pay attention to the lines on the floor, I go from basically, like I think this is the normal map, so southwest side of it, I suppose, towards the middle. I hit this place. Again, the Harbingers, we're sitting on -14. Apparently on normal difficulty it's -14%. The debuff that they put, the Bloodletters and the Harbingers. Like, trust me, it's really deadly. Like, you would disappear in a heartbeat if you have absolutely no resistance like me right now. How can we get resistance is basically something called like black tallow. I'm not really sure if that is craftable right now for an account like mine. We should check it out, definitely. But yeah, it would still be expensive even then, even if I can craft it. It requires like rift stones and stuff. So what we could have done is, like, you remember those pieces that are like sort of bad, but they had like some bad items. They had like some chaos resistance here and there. I think that would have been an option to like keep them and like swap them around when we are actually fighting some Chthonians, but I guess that's a little bit too much of a try hard. If I'm not mistaken, this place is really rewarding for the most part. Like, checking around, killing everyone, it's quite okay. Maybe even like the right side. Let's check it out. The right big house, that is. Not really sure. No, apparently this one is not. Alright. Let's go from this side. I think there's like a treasure troll spawn somewhere here, but I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, there's a dynamite spawn as well. Right over there. Let's see. As I said, like, the troll spawns are like ridiculously important for new accounts. They usually give like at least one recipe, and on top of that you have a chance to like find rare materials as well, such as like blood, heart, and brain. I really like brains. Yeah, there it is. Nice. This is what we were searching for. The Guardsman breastplate and a tainted brain matter. That's basically the best that could have happened. We traded one dynamite for a recipe and a rare material. It's just insane. Bathhouse. I'm gonna hit these places as well. That might be a big chest. It's going to be the last part of it. Nah, we're okay, I think. Alright. Get out of here really quick. Welcome back, Haz. Wonder if we can knock him out. Not really, he's resistant enough. So, I kind of wanted to go for this, right? That requires 3 more purple. Must say I don't like that so much. There are some options. We can definitely go for like Toad. Toad is an option. You could actually go for the hammer as well, which we are kind of like trauma. So I think we will actually go for the hammer next. It's okay. Hammer is something that I usually never go for. But in this case, it actually fits. It's pretty good. Convenient. Haz is asking, why do I have a shield next to my name? You got sub gifted the other day, if you remember. That's a badge for a sub. I don't necessarily remember who it was. Maybe it was Sakina? There's a dynamite spawn on the left side as well. In my opinion, it's pretty important to like hit every single dynamite spawn point unless you want to like restart your game and run like a Fort Heron or like a Cromney. In this playthrough, we will definitely be doing some farm, especially like if you think about late game. This character will be an Aether DK, right? The starting strong Aether DK. As we talked about it before, like we can talk about it again. Basically, Aether DK is a really, really strong character to start with, simply because in Grim Dawn, your first character is usually not the strongest character. Basically because you're missing the set pieces, you're missing the legendaries, and unless you... even if you like follow some sort of like a guide, you'll be missing the items for it. You know, you will need to either like trade really heavily to make it really strong. And Grim Dawn and trade doesn't necessarily go together, in my opinion, unless you put a couple of $100 into it and would like to theory craft stuff, and you know, that's another subject. But yeah, Aether DK is like, you can also play it as like a battle mage, which is actually a little bit better in my opinion, my favorite, because like I like Arcanist. And it's a targetable farm. Like you can farm the sets. So because of that, quite a lot of like new players are being pushed into like playing the Aether DK. And it's a good choice, because thanks to that, now your first character is not necessarily that weak, you know? Personally, when I restarted my accounts in hardcore earlier, like a month ago, I actually played a Spellbreaker, which is, to be honest with you, atrocious of a first character to play. And it was like, but it ended up completing like every single milestone that I needed him to. And my next character was the Tactician, which ended up being extremely strong, thanks to the drops that I've gotten from the Spellbreaker. But now if I log into Spellbreaker, it would still be terrible. It's not geared and it's not strong. But in this case, the Aether DK might actually be quite strong. We'll see. But no matter what you do, your first character in Grim Dawn is always going to be one of your weakest ones. And it's most likely because of not only the experience that you have, but also the farm is really limited. It's quite the RNG to find the items that you actually need for the character that you're playing. But for the account, it's another matter. For the account, you could definitely find some good drops. Sometimes you actually end up finding something ridiculously good, puts it into the stash, and you're not even aware that it is such a good item. Come back to it like a week, and you're like, oh shit, I have it. That's the best feeling, I swear. That being said, about the Spellbreaker, just to add something, because Climbing was saying, my first is Spellbreaker and I love it. Dude, Spellbreaker is my favorite class combination in this game. Hands down. It is so much fun to play. The effects are really cool on your screen. I love everything about it. And it could be strong if you basically commit and have the gear and the proper spec for it too. Well, for a first character, it is quite questionable. It's not the tankiest inherently, so you do need like gear to back it up. So it can definitely be rough, as you're saying, yes. sort of like addition. Right now, my character is pretty strong. Therefore, we are sort of not struggling, even though I have like 20% or 0% even chaos and 20% vitality. Now, if you're struggling here, surviving something like this guy, what you could do is like, you remember the ointments that we talked about. You could reset your game and buy ointments from that guy all the time from Homestead, and then just buff yourself versus a fight like this. The fight will be so much easier. So something like this, basically 25% extra vitality resistance for 450 seconds, right? It's going to be helping you big time. Shadow Legends and a Blood of Chthon. I think we have just found 2 bloods from this room. That was really good. And that is going to be the end of Act 3 as soon as you destroy the clock over there. We're at that magical level, level 35 that I have been talking about forever. Let's check our reputations. I need to respect it. We are respected, but Devil's Crossing, Homestead, Rovis is not there quite yet, same as Kaiman. Let's check out the Devil's Crossing and Homestead NPCs and see like what we can find. Yo, what's up, Tech? How's it going, dude? Homestead might have something for us, something like boots. I kind of like my boots, actually. There's obviously like multiple, yeah, such as like leathery hide blueprints. There's multiple blueprints that you can commit into and craft yourself like a relic or something if you would like to farm at this point. It's not so bad. And one more tip that I'm gonna give you is that like if you're going to like commit into buying something like these items, you might also like consider resetting your game because they have like better rolls. You know, this can like roll, let's say I'm just gonna make it up to like 12% elemental resistance, but this time it is 9. So if I reset my game and log in again and come to this NPC, it might actually be 12 that time. You know what I mean? If that is important to you, I would heavily suggest you to check that out. What sort of an item do I really want from here? Let's go check out like Devil's Crossing as well, so we have an idea overall. Before starting the next act, I'll also empty my bags. Probably should be doing it right now so that like I don't use something bad. I like this belt right over here, it's a little bit better than mine. Oh, that's a really good chest overall. I think we're buying this chest, guys. Yeah.
If you guys leave the channel,
buy this chest.
You have to leave your browsers running. Okay? 100%. Or I lose viewers. Can't have that. What the fuck? What you guys doing?
Shaken, how's it going, dude? Thank you very much for that. 8 months. Love you, dude. Look at this one, you guys. Now, I'm pretty sure we have an upgrade in our hands. We'll take out the components from those. Elemental resistance in a ring, that's really not so bad. I think I'm okay though. Still not enough. 6 watch. In fact, like, I think we should, because like we definitely require some bleed and pierce resistance more than this. We keep the add-on on this. We definitely use it on the thingy over there. Keep the add-on on that one. Use it on the belts. So our poison is pretty good. We could use like one more 6 watch, and then we are good with that one as well. Yeah, we will most likely destroy this weapon as well. The casting speed was the only good thing about that weapon, but now we have something else. The vicious spikes is not necessarily a bad component for me. I wonder, like, what does chipped claw form into? As I said time and time again, I'm not necessarily like the best when it comes to like physical build up, level ups. I usually use something else than physical level up. But I am pretty sure there's going to be a physical component that you can form from the chipped claws. That should be a little like stronger version of it. It has to be. Ah, there it is. Severed claw, in fact. That is probably worth, you guys. So that's gonna give me the brutal slam. 725 in total trauma damage as well. Yep, that's a good craft. Let's get it. I just wasted a chipped claw, but it's alright. We're gonna need to remove that chipped claw from that thing. Let's see if I can craft another 6 watch. 6 watch requires one more resilient plating. I can actually have a resilient plating, that's fine. Let's get that. Put that on top of the pants. Now my resistances are looking so much better. The only thing that I would require is basically Aether, Vitality, or Chaos. Those are really, really rippy right now, not gonna lie. But something like Runestone would be pretty big as well. We cannot craft it yet. Or like a Wardstone is okayish too. What was Wardstone giving? Amulets and metals with like elemental resistance and bleed resistance. Not so bad, I guess. Not so bad. Yeah, the black tallow is not craftable, not yet. It's probably like a recipe that we need to learn from someone. Let's put this severed claw, and then we're going to be golden. Keep the item over here. So is there any other item that I might be interested in? I like my boots overall. I think I'm going to continue with my boots. I'm not... Actually, like, Aether and Chaos Resistance is coming from the Homestead. Maybe I'm going to take it. Okay, we buy the boots from Homestead then. What about the shoulders? Stun, entrapment, pierce resistance instead of bleed. I can live with it. And this one's like physical resistance with defensibility. I don't need that. This one's a good upgrade as well. 18,000, we have 180k. Let's buy it. This is okay. The helms. It's been a while we didn't change the helm. This one is an offensive version of what I am using. Better overall, in my opinion. Let's use it. I actually look like a clown now. I like it. So I'm gonna buy the boost from these guys. And that's probably going to be the last part of it. That's gonna give me just a tiny bit of like Aether and Chaos Resistance if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, Aether and Chaos, you see? Let's just use it. It's fine. So we have changed how many items here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have changed like 5 items and a component as well. Overall, it is definitely looking healthier. The only problem is like maybe even one more 6 watch. We could craft one more 6 watch, I wouldn't mind it. Let's take out these travelers from these boots. Put it there. Let me see if I can do one more 6 watch, in fact. I think I'm gonna do it. There it is. It looks so much better. Let's play. And we have something called the Brutal Slam this time instead of the normal slam. The thing is, like, my character doesn't necessarily have the attack speed, so it's not that easy to use this. We don't even need to be like in melee range, so damage should be... This is a good blink, by the way. Blitz, like from somewhere around here, you blitz to this. Always use it on my playthroughs. Well, same goes for like Shadow Strike. Into it from there. Our damage is going to be a lot better than how it was like 5 minutes ago, in my opinion. It was already good, but like it will be only better. Guys, when we are clearing the steps of torments, we're gonna need to like pay lots of attention to killing literally everything if possible. Try to get that Warrior's reputation as high as you can. Let's kill the chilled guy over here. It's a good one. Age of Mythology. We can definitely lower the sound a little bit, though it was too loud. I like the Age of Empires, so don't mind the loudness bit. Hello? Nice. And that is 36. I wonder if we can force from here. There we go. Yeah, right now it doesn't feel like veteran anymore, honestly. After this last optimization, it's probably a little bit over the top. And we are really strong with our DPS as well. And as you can see, like I almost used everything from just, you know, level 35 faction buys. Now, that being said, like, just because of this factor, when you're playing in normal, you don't necessarily need to like check almost anything that is dropping other than like blues or something. That obviously makes you gain incredible amounts of time. And then on top of that, even if you're like doing bad, once you reach level 35, you just buy these items instantaneously, and you know, now you're doing fine, you know. So in another, like in other words, if you know how to control the components and basically factions, you don't necessarily need to gear all that good or care about itemization at all while you're leveling to like 50 or something. That's a pretty cool side of this game. Hey, if you would like to, like, by all means, the earthquake proc from my helm is really funny. The Adept's Morningstar. Hey, actually the next level was quite relevant, wasn't it? 15% physical damage? Maybe not. Look at our damage, you guys. That's insane. I could actually like kill myself if there's like a reflex, I think. let's even use our relic. Yeah, if you remember, like the biggest damage upgrade was the fact that's basically finding this weapon that doesn't have any conversions. So we're full physical and trauma now. Everything adds up. There's a big difference between multiplying a mid-roll item with your fizz rolls and then, you know, a full fizz item with your fizz rolls. What level are you gonna pick the Necromancer? Is a good question from Jay. I really don't know, never thought about it. But honestly, I didn't do any planning for this, and it's the best way. I want everything to, like, you know, happen, and then make me question it, and then, you know, me trying to, like, solve it. We're gonna drop a portal here. Right now, like, my priority is this, and I like that node as well, the Decorated Soldier. Like, there are some nodes that I really, really like here. What do I really like on Necromancer? Literally nothing. I like the HP, I suppose. No, right now Necromancer doesn't necessarily boost us so much. There's an HP buff. That's about it though. Physical resistance is pretty big as well. So around Elite, I think we would like to have maximum Spectral Wrath. Other than this, like, what do I care about? Not so much. Maybe the Mark of Tutament, but that's too high of a commitment. We cannot get there anytime soon just because of the way that we played this. So minus physical resistance is probably like the biggest thing that we can go for right now. Call of the Grave. Oh, Spectral Wrath, yeah. The aura reduces physical resistance. Yes, yes. Has actually, like, I don't know if you're in our Discord, but I actually would like you to, like, check out the I don't know if anyone has, like, a link to it. Yesterday I ended up theory crafting a battle mage with Krieg set, and it is insane. Krylik is saying in chat, Mala plays DK and ends up with another Force Wave Tactician. Excuse me. Hey Fortune, welcome. Yo, Death to Skeletons. I don't necessarily know if we can, like, get... Nah, there's no way I'm getting 300 reputation from this. Absolutely no way. Feels bad. We have replaced the belts, so therefore we don't necessarily have lifesteal anymore. Hi, bye, welcome. It's such a weird thing to say. Hi, bye. Lots of loot. How are we doing with the diamonds, you guys? We this thing right over here, the assassin mark. And probably about like elite starts is like a good idea to go for it. I don't necessarily mind respecing the devotions at all. Like you can definitely just like, instead of saving points, you should definitely be, you know, spreading the devotion points and getting that buff, and then later on, if you think that like you can do something better, I mean, you should. It's extremely easy to like farm Aether crystals in this game. You just teleport to the last waypoint of Act 1, the Warden Lab, and then run backwards. And if you would like, you can reset your game and do this one more time. And you'll get about like 20 crystals every run. Maybe even sometimes some clusters if you're lucky. Mark of the Traveler. I do wish I had just a tiny bit of lifesteal though, I'm not gonna lie. Would be really cool. Get out of my way, you fool. The reason why we dropped the portal outside and then went for the waypoint first is that we won't be exiting this place after killing this guy. There's actually a hidden passage to the right side. It'll give me the devotion points. The Dreadblade of Thunder. If you're a Necromancer, it doesn't let you go for Kaimans. What happens if you go Kaiman and then take Necromancer? Yeah, for some reason we actually did it that way, didn't we? Like, is this gonna cause me an issue in Elite? I guess we're gonna find it out together. I never thought about this either. Since I'm not necessarily committed into Necromancer yet, like Kaiman was accepting me. They don't necessarily accept Necromancers. If we want to like continue and try hard, we could actually do something along the lines of like just never be a Necromancer up until like Ultimate or something. That would be kind of stupid. But at this point, we're gonna need to like go through with the Kaimans in the normal, and then probably switch in the Elite. Should be okay though. It's not the biggest deal. So we're gonna learn it together. This is something that I've never done either, honestly. Oh yeah, the fortress. Very good. Almost level 37 also. There it is. Those lore pages. 30% internal thermal with increased duration. Increased duration is really good versus single target, by the way, guys. If you're like some sort of like a damage over time sort of character, or if you're capable of like dealing any relevant damage over time, increased duration always buffs them really good versus single target. That is something that's surviving more than like 10 seconds or so. I'll continue running this place. I finish this. Another chest over here. I should be good now. Let's go back to Kaiman. Tell them we're done with this guy. So about that note, Chlora was saying they will make a remark about you being a Necromancer, but will still let you join them. That's interesting. So simply because like I didn't select Necromancers so far, gives me the capability of becoming Kaiman for the rest of the entire character playthrough. Is that what it is? That is really interesting. So I'll be able to like select them once again, even if I commit into Necromancer in Elite, that is respected with the Kaiman. That's really big. Oops. We'll see together. People are saying different things. I suppose we're gonna see them together. We have some sort of like an item over here. This thing is almost, if not better than mine, definitely as good as mine. I think I'm gonna stay away from it. I don't know. I cannot decide. It has really good multipliers. It has crit damage as well, and on top of everything, it has Quake. I think we're buying this. Alright, let's buy it. Let's have some fun. Okay. Vormol. It's a really good one. Look at this. The Black Tallow is the one that I was talking about. You can definitely buy the Black Tallow over here. This is a no-brainer. Buy, definitely. For sure, the Black Tallow recipe, you should buy it. And that is the necklace and amulet component that's capable of giving you chaos resistance. It's a pretty expensive craft though, like really, really expensive craft. So after managing to like craft it, I would say like never. Oh wow. I mean, I suppose we are using it, and then I take like a war cry into it. I don't know. It's an interesting one as well. I'm gonna continue with my cute little earthquake, I think, but this is a really good helm too. We've been lucky with that helm drop apparently. I'll continue being greedy with the pluses. I'll continue with the pluses. It's okay. Remember, our necklace is giving +1 to all soldier abilities, so. Alright, let's go change our weapon. I cannot believe that I found this many weapons. It's so weird. Yo, how's it going, Kechak? Welcome. Chloral seems like the only person that knows it. Dude, it is going to be... What did I do? Malagant, what are you doing, man? Fuck, this is a choke right here. I don't think we can like craft a new one. Shit. It was called Severed Claw, right? Look at this, the Severed Claw. I just ripped like 4 chipped claws, you guys. God dang it. Yeah, don't be a dummy like me, guys. At that point, I think you're supposed to be keeping your Severed Claw. Please don't be like me. Let's put something else on this meanwhile. That was bad. Alright, there's some pepperonis. We don't have a weapon components anymore. It's too bad. It's good for Tycoon. I'm gonna tell you something funny. We are crashing here, actually. There's a very slight chance that my game didn't save yet. That would be incredibly hilarious. That would be proper hilarious, I think. Yo, what's up, Draken? Nice to see you. Your Grimdawn does not want to work for you. I mean, maybe my Grimdawn is actually serving me. There's a very slight chance that the game did not save after me doing the mistake with the Severed Claw. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, probably not, but... Alright, the DeathKnight Pro. something that actually gives you chaos resistance, you can keep something like this in your bags, even if you don't like the item itself, and you can use it in like Bastion of Chaos or something. And that's where you will be having a lot easier time in there. direction. And we need a chipped glow for that matter. It's actually the last one that I have. It's bad. I ruined that chipped glow thing. It's so bad. It's unbelievable. So we have the last devotion points for the hammer now. That should unlock the bard's harp. Those shows. Yeah, we will be able to like take that away afterwards. I'm not really know like where we're gonna go after the bard's harp. Not too sure. Probably we will build up towards the fire. We'll have time to decide. Friendly with the outcast. So the next place to hit is going to be Steps of Torment, the first challenge in this game, sort of. Which one is the better one here? The left one is so much better, it looks like. It actually gives a bit of like chaos resistance as well. We did not replace my gloves forever, I think, right? Physical and trauma damage for level 41. It's pretty good. That was 40, that one's 41. We're like 3 levels behind it. Might as well go. It's alright. One thing that you can do is there's something called the Hoarfrost Ointment in this. The freeze resistance is quite important at the very end of Steps of Torment. So this is how you basically make that encounter incredibly easier on you. By basically being almost immune to freeze. I don't necessarily know where the Hoarfrost Ointment, this is a good buy also, I'm gonna buy it. Hoarfrost Ointment is from. I don't really know if I can craft it yet, let me see. But that would definitely make the game a lot easier for that part. Seems like we can't, not yet. Just checking, maybe. That's really though. Alright, let's go for Steps of Torment with like 26% freeze resistance. And see how bad it's gonna go. I don't think we will die. I'm sure my stream missed the Steps of Torment runs, so it's going to be a good one. And the thing is like Chains of Oleron. Like, do we have like a completed one? We just have like a small one, in fact. It's pretty far away so far. Chains of Oleron is like a really good chess piece component. Especially if you're doing fine with like your bleed and pierce resistances. Alright, so there's a hidden chest right over here. You enter from there, go through the bushes. It's not necessarily the best chest, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. As I said earlier, guys, I'm going to be killing like excessive amounts of skeletons here. We need the reputation with the Rovers. We need to get to Honored for the Rover Legacy quest. It's gonna take a while. sure like come back to it later on for the devotion point if you would like to. Doesn't need to be like instantly. Rockblitz is saying, if you happen to choose the Death Vigil faction, if you picked Necromancer already, there's a quest to kill this guy in this zone. There's a quest to kill a guy in this zone. You're talking about Uruboruk, yeah. I know. That is one of the last quests of Death Vigil. So, I think instead of Bane Gargoth, you're taking that quest instead. Which kind of lines up pretty good. With the Bang quest. You're correct. Guys, in this place, we're going to be looking for the treasure show, okay? This is going to be like the first point. This little place. The prison cell. Okay, it's not there, so it will be somewhere else now. That was underwhelming. There's nothing in it. Alright, fair enough. Stone's Throwaway is saying, by the way, you can add partial items, partial components to your items. And then as you add more, it will complete on top of the item as well. That's a really, really good tip. We could maybe do it with like something like the clothes, the shipped clothes. But the thing is, like, that's my only clothes, so maybe we will also need it for something else after this stupid mistake that I have done. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not missing so much because I'm only missing like a little bit of flat fizz and multiplier to fizz and trauma. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's about like 25%. It's not the end of the world. The most annoying part is that I'll most likely need to spend a little bit more to like craft it again or something else. It's a reflection monster. I should be careful. Still not that deadly. The one-shot chest is here. Immaterial Edge. Epic one-hander. There's another spawn point right over there, next to the wall. And one more spawn point will be right over here, which is where it's apparently spawned right now. Let's open the chest. A lot of Chthon. Give it to me. And Inferno. Really good drops. I think we go open the Devotion Shrine, guys. Chains. Right before entering the Steps of Torments, I'll go ahead and like sell some stuff since we are caring about like our iron bits counts in this playthrough. This will definitely be useful. You guys want to see how I'm doing with the rovers? About like 10% in towards Honored. I don't necessarily think it's going to be enough, this run that is. But I think it will be like halfway. So if we run it like one more time or something, it will be Honored, which I won't do it right now. We'll probably come back to it like at the very end or something. We'll see. No rush. Tosh was live. Alright, let's go south. Really quick. At the same time, like, I'm gonna check the ointments one more time. It's an Aether one? It's alright. You could actually keep one of these swords. You might need it later on. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that to the bank. Definitely. We will be learning how to craft a skeleton key also. Comparison between those gloves, the top one is definitely better. Much better. You see, we're slowly getting up to that point. Like, I don't necessarily care about the green items all that much. It's kind of a waste of time. Let's go put this into the bank. This sword. Okay, that's good. Almost level 42. It's pretty good. There's one that is being sold in the Kaiman's NPC. When you get respected, otherwise you're gonna need to search for loot. You can also like try crafting. But crafting is a little bit expensive at the very start of the game, depending on where you are at. Because all those scraps, they're actually quite useful for you along the path. But the one that I'm using right now is from Kaiman's. It's from Kaiman's. And back to that component question, guys, like I'm not necessarily using a component right now because I don't want to convert. I do believe that a component right now, other than like Severed or a chipped claw, is a nerf to me, and I don't want to spend the last chipped claw that I have. It might be useful for something else. We are not necessarily gaining that much DPS from that component. Don't worry about it. Like, it's only giving us like a super slam or something. That's alright. Tenebris is here. Where's Balthazar? One good tip is that like don't pay much attention to these spawns. They're undead. They're coming out of the ground. You have to nuke them as they're coming out of the ground. They're not capable of attacking you. If you like let them basically come out, take position, and start overwhelming you, that's when the risk starts. So you have about like a 5-second to 10-second period when they're actually like coming out like this, dish out as much damage as you can take that. Nothing else? Okay. Sometimes this trap over here is quite big. Oh, maybe they're just late. They're spawning still. Alright, fair enough. Hello, Phoenix. Welcome. And then it was 40. Normally it takes me about like 2.5 hours to get to level 50 on my normal playthrough. We are 4 hours into level 40. Is anything in here? It usually actually takes me less than 2 hours. But I do Crucible as well at the start, which is 30 minutes by itself, so. No, Ilera. fight. If you manage to keep this guy on the low ground, like on these, you know, skulls, instead of like upstairs, when he like goes to second phase and when he like bends over to cast those like pierce and bleed stuff, you gotta like kind of go away. And if you go to the upstairs, like it usually doesn't get there. It's usually like blocks by the stairs or pierces. It's not 100%. It's possible that like they still go through and you gotta dodge them, but like 90% of the time, let me say, like you stand upstairs, you'll just like ignore the mechanics. But you gotta keep them downstairs, as I said. For that. Not even halfway with the respected, by the way. Gotta go across one more time. Let's listen to Oblivion. So you definitely need more than one run into steps, for sure. I can use the shoulders and the belt for that matter at level 40 now. Spectral Binding is pretty good aura for me, but I think we rush for its modifier instead. Spectral Wrath is better. Nice spawn. I've been asking for Balrazar years. Yeah, me either, face. No, it doesn't Viceroy, it won't. Real Talk, I'll check it out. Let me know if you have a suggestion for me too. Naomi was saying there's Steam sales for a lot of titles now. But like, I'm done talking about games with you, dude. You're just a refunder. You enjoy refunding more than playing them, so. Even though the last boss is that way, you guys, like, I think I'm gonna walk around, kill pretty much everything. This place is dropping us ectoplasm, which is like quite good for my accounts right now, as it's fresh. And there might also be some like blue items dropping as well for sure. And some robber's reputation as well. Let's just take it, it's alright. So I will in fact like do a complete run of this Anguish level. As long as we have space to carry, and it looks like we do, so it's okay. I learned this. Oops. keep on coming. This is insane. Corpse dust is another component that you can like easily farm quite a bit. We have like 4 of them so far since the start. And you can definitely like put it on top of your like rings, emblem, I think amulets, yeah. Gives you good HP. Little bit of like fight resistance as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep. It's pretty good. So this guy over here is pretty good like with maces when it comes to like flash freeze and Trozen if you're playing such a character at this point with Arcanist. It's a good buy. You could also like find them from ghost shops, obviously. He's a scammer though. He sells really expensive for the most part. Blueprints Guil for 15,000. Let's get it. Oh shit, it's blocked over here. How do I do this? There's only one entrance to it, really? That's kind of boring. Back out. After this back, I think we're good. Let's go kill Alchemos. I was kind of hoping to find like a Hoarfrost ointment along the path somehow. Maybe a drop from like the ghosts and stuff. Didn't really talk about it at all. But we end up not getting one. So, at this point, if you're really scared of Alchemos and if you're playing like hardcore, and if you don't necessarily have any Hoarfrost ointment and you're still inside this blade, what you can do is you can utilize some of the frozen hides. They definitely do reduce the frozen duration as well. They're pretty rare though, so it's entirely up to you. Yikes. about like 15 hours or so, I think. If I had to play it again, I think I would try to stay on the main quests instead of focusing on side quests so much as much as I did. I think they burned me out. So Nestaria doesn't continue with her quest line because we don't necessarily have the reputation that is required. We need to be respected apparently for the next step. The next step is going to be a Bastion of Chaos. That being said, killing Ethereals and Chthonians are giving reputation to Nestaria, so it will be pretty easy to like get this to honor it, and then we will turn back to take that quest. I think that quest is pretty good. How did we get out from robbers now? Halfway? Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. I should probably sell some stuff as well, right? So, when it comes to the chaotic rifts that we will need to clean in this place, this chaotic rift actually is not only for the quest for Mravas, right? The Rowari crown, but at the same time, not crown, sorry, legacy. But at the same time, it is for this braving the void, slay, ban, cargo. But also there's a one-shot chest inside, so it's a pretty valuable place. Finding this chaotic rifts, what I do, I stick to the right side over here. If you go too much further to the right side, there's a possibility that you will find one of the deadliest heroes in this game, which is called Locksmere. You shouldn't go too much to the right side, but like I'll show you till when. Okay, it is exactly this point right over here. There's a rock over there, and the right side right over there is the spawn point. So you shouldn't be continuing more than this. Let me turn back to the left from here. That's the first spawn point. I think there's like 3 spawn points in this place. The second one is somewhere up here, to the left side. Yeah, I think it was somewhere here. So it's not on the second side either. The third one is going to be on the right side again. Inside this, I think. There it is. I'm going to drop a portal here. It's inside the triangle. So 1, 2, the triangle, left side of triangle, and then at the rock to the right side over there. Those are the 3 spots that I know. I don't necessarily know if there's a 4th spot. Don't think so. Mutagenic, let's pick it up. And kill this as well. The mines on the floor, they're actually hurting so bad. What's our fire resistance? 60%? Fair enough. When you're blitzing through like this, it's possible that like you hit multiple mines. Nice place. DK was asking, did you find the ring? No, of course not, fortunately. So after taking this waypoint, we can turn back to the chaotic rifts. Let's do this. Our chaos resistance is pretty low, as you remember. So for this, I'm gonna equip this belt. 30% is better than 10. Trust me. Been there. But if you want more, like you should use an ointment. Yeah. necessarily how the other quest will clear it. It's alright. It's good to have the reputation that's coming from the Chthonians. Go minus with them as well. Why not? If I'm not mistaken, they're also dropping some chipped clothes too, which is the massive mistake that I have done so far in this playthrough. There's chipped clothes. Can cross to the other side from this, I guess. Hopefully. Soonish, we're gonna start seeing tyrants. Some Chthonian tyrants. And they have a ridiculous weapon for what we are playing right now. They're dropping Obsidian War Cleaver is the name of the weapon. I don't necessarily know it can be if they can be yellow, probably. We will most likely check the green drops. And what they give is that like they give like +3 to force wave if I'm not mistaken, and they give even like increased damage to force wave too. So it's like a specific like special modifier for the force wave skill that we're using, which is obviously going to be a lot better than our weapon. But still, if we can find a pure physical, and better yet, pure physical plus trauma, then it would be incredible. Like no conversion is going to be the biggest at this point, especially since like we're coming to the ending of like pretty much the vanilla normal difficulty. Like we shouldn't be messing around with conversing anymore, definitely not. Searing embers. Where are my chipped clothes and boiling bloodsuckers? That was really good. Alright, so one-shot chest is in this place, the throne. Yeah, the obsidian throne, same as the Bane Gargoth. He's in here as well. I'll clear everything in here as well. How are we doing with the Anastaria, the outcast? We're almost there actually, it's not bad. I do want her like next quest. not be that hard to do Bastion. We'll see. By just judging from this has been like pretty much a face roll so far. The only problem for me so far was like Act 1 was a little bit more difficult than normal playthrough, like just because it was veteran. Act 2 sometimes just a little bit, but somewhat about when we were around like Homestead, I think the game became almost as easy thanks to the optimizing that we have done. The thing is that it's different massively is that you don't need this optimization at all in the normal, so you gain that much more time. That's pretty much it. How's it going, Tona? Welcome. So many exits. It's funny. So I think the one shot is going to be next to Bane. We'll see. That's a Tyrant, by the way, that guy. I don't necessarily know if the weapon that he's using is an Obsidian or Cleaver or whatever. But so they can in fact like be here as well. You're saying lol to that game, but it's actually one of the games that she likes quite a bit. Give me your weapon, Winxel. They don't want to, apparently. So is the one shot just next to you? Yes, it is. No, we're complete. You don't understand. I need to hoard. I want to gold. Didn't even open the chest yet, so. There was a level 41 item that I really wanted right there. It's the gloves. It's a massive upgrade for me. After here, we should definitely check around a little bit. Mark of the Templar. It's pretty good too. An offhand, a one-handed sword, and a scepter. Actually wants me to get back to Father Climate as well. Kind of curious about my reputation, the Outcast. Almost there. Gonna use this NPC to sell. I like the resistance of mine. Wasn't too bad though. Mark of Templar. Nope. Stakeout. Life Stealer Nova. I don't know, maybe in fact like I should continue with that. My resistance aren't so bad, so I think I'm gonna continue with that. I'll take out the poison thingy out of that. Yeah, this is quite good as well, and that's obviously. What about this one? Old White City, it's not so great. There's a chest piece over here with like acid. Not so great either. Experience increased 4%. Now the trouble deals physical damage and HP. Quite low HP, I know, but still, it is interesting. We have absolutely no white hit resistance remaining, by the way. Like, it's going to be just a little bit more when I put, like, stuff on top of my gloves, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I don't know. That's close, though. Pretty close. We have a ring over here. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Shit. Which one? They're both pretty crap, like what I'm using right now, honestly. So, maybe replace that one for now? I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, we have been pretty unlucky with like the two-handed drop from those tyrants, because I think the shields that I just sold, they're exactly the same like same NPC that's dropping it, same enemy. Let's go to Kaiman. Protest is saying a DK siding with Kaimans. Yes. You have to choose the right side. Brother Kaiman is our father, Brother Kaiman. Ah, this is it. Couple of like component adjustments. Don't click the wrong button, Malagant. Lots of time. Okay, so we'll put that one over there. We'll definitely put that one over there. We'll put that one over there. What am I missing? Some vitality, some aether. Otherwise, I like my character right now. What can we put on top of this? Defensive ability, vitality resistance is pretty good. That's about it. I'm gonna put this. Just a tiny bit of like vitality resistance and leech resistance as well. Why not? It's alright. There's a quest right next to me, I'm aware, but it will take away some dynamites from me. I don't really care about completing that quest at the normal difficulty, definitely not. Protoss was suggesting corpse dust is pretty good as well. Yeah, I think I valued just a little bit more to the vitality resistance, just judging from like how low it is, but corpse dust is pretty good as well. Or you could still go for like roiling blood, obviously, the one that I took out, for sure. I'm trying to decide like what do I want to do first. Do I want to like kill Logarian first, or do I want to go Bastion of Chaos first, which is just a little bit more challenging, obviously. But for the stats that I have right now, it should be okay. Let's kill Logarian first. It's alright. Yeah, 8 damage is too much right now. This guy is able to cast some 80 spells. The Abomination. We drop a portal here, guys. We'll come back to this. There's a devotion shrine inside. point that we take is like pierce elemental damage and energy regeneration. Pretty much dead point for me. I feel like we could have done a little bit better with our devotions. Not gonna lie, but at the same time, I don't necessarily regret anything so far because I wanted it to be not so much prepared. Like I didn't want to before making this. I didn't want to go to like Grim Tools and like prepare everything, the roadmap that I'm going to be following. Wanted the problems to occur on the go and then me trying to solve them basically. I think that's the style of this video. Look at that. Look at that cleaver, please. Stop conversing. Oh no, it's converse, you guys. Oh no. But yeah, we are looking for something like this. Something that doesn't convert, hopefully. It is already coming with like some chaos damage on it, so. Let's go back to my waypoints for the devotion shrine. Let's ban Protoss for that comment. I'm never unlucky. No such thing. I've been farming for one ring for the past like couple of days. It doesn't drop. I refuse. If I'm not mistaken, the puddles on the floor, they're dealing bleed damage. Just so you know, so that you're prepared for it. Our bleed resistance is pretty good. It's a 77% almost maxed out, so we don't necessarily need to care about it all that much. One more level, 3 points into Spectral Wrath. It's going to be pretty good. These are undead as well, so therefore like we're getting reputation with the rover. Halfway so far. Not even close, feels bad. Like, if they are going to really care about the Mokdrugan shrine, which we might, we could run Steps of Torment one more time. And I would definitely like to run that place one more time at level 50 so that we have a chance to finding some legendary at least at the very end. Remember, everything is scaling with my level. So, right now, if you run it, like, my rewards are not going to be as big as they could be, at least. Ectoplasm, Vengeful Wraith. Hello? We're still actively one-shotting literally everything, and I just told you that like there's going to be a massive upgrade if we're lucky, just a tiny bit, for Force Fade. So back to the point of like leveling as like Necromancer, Skeletons, and leveling as like Soldier. Did we lose so much time? No, not really. I think we were a little bit lucky with like weapons so far for the most part, especially at like level 17 or something. We found that like, you know, as acid weapon, I think it was. And then afterwards we transitioned pretty good as well from there. maps do we have, guys? 45 calculated. We will need exactly 40 to open the bridge towards the Bastion of Chaos, so that's pretty good. There's one more one-shot chest in this place. This entire map, the Lost Necropolis interior place. One of the one-shot chest location is this, where I am right now. It's not there. There's 3 locations if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully it's going to be on the second one. I should probably still show you the third one anyways, but let's go this way. Nice. More Cleaver. DK and Ruin. I'm guessing that's not it either, unfortunately. Physical to vitality. It actually does scale the physical and internal trauma damage. Still converge. This might still be better than mine though. I cannot tell. This is probably still better than mine. But yeah, without the conversion it would be 100% better than mine. So the secondary spots of the... Yeah, there's this place basically. It's right next to the Bastion of Chaos bridge opening. The Dreadnoughts, by the way. It looks good, but like I cannot use them because Chaos and Aether resistance is really important right now for me. They definitely look good though. I don't know. I'm gonna show you the third location as well, just in case for the... one-shot chest. Okay, now that we are done, we can TP back to this, and I'll show you the third location. In like 30 minutes, I think, Sikina. Is that okay? Yeah, 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. Sure. It's right over here where I am, I think, if I'm not mistaken, guys. To the right side of the map. Somewhere here, for sure. Like, it's either there, it's my mouse cursor, or right next to this tomb over here. It's either one. At the very right side of the map. How are we doing with the Anasterium, the Outcast? They're actually respected now. We can take the quest in Bastion. That's pretty good news. It's usually the same idea. Like in this game, if you find a torch like this, it's not lit. It's like 90% of the time it's a switch. There's one that I can think of that's not a switch, but... do you think? Are we going to be having any challenge whatsoever like against Logarian? Our Vitality Chaos resistances are pretty low. We could definitely end up using a Vitality Potion. We found quite a bit of that. We have like 3 of them if I'm not mistaken, in fact. Yeah. We could use a Vitality Potion. I'm okay with it. I think I'm not going to be spending my only Chaos Potion. And hopefully we're going to be fine. It's been a while I didn't fight him on Veteran. I don't necessarily think that's going to be deadly whatsoever though. Gimme. Honestly, I think I'm going to use that weapon. I think I'm using this, guys. Force Wave 6k to 9.5k. Becomes 7.4 to 9.9 almost, which isn't so bad, I guess. Now we probably have a little bit more like vitality damage, obviously. Yep. So if we can find like a non-converting version, it will definitely be really good. I think so. Nice. $20 points into Force Wave right now. It's amazing while you're leveling like this. I am really considering like giving quite a lot of like points after like maxing out the Spectral Wrath on Necromancer. I'm really considering giving a lot of points into Fizz and Trauma upgrades from the Decorated Soldier. We'll see. I'm not really sure yet. Depends like how reliable it is. We'll need some like elemental resistance as well. It's not a bad node for me, I believe. Actually, Limited saying greetings from work. Cannot hear you, but still watching. Alright, somebody can write welcome to him from me. The only deadly part about this guy is that like basically the Harbingers that he's summoning with the minus resistance on you. Other than that, he has these like rocks that he's throwing at you. If he's like getting incredibly lucky, you can maybe get shotgunned by them. I don't think so though. So this Logarian fight is going to be in fact like the end of part 2. Let's see how it goes. We actually have like Spectral Wrath as well now. Some minus resistances to go with. My HP is 5.8k at level 44. Now that one's not necessary. The only thing that you need to be worried about when you're close to Logarian is this. When he's about to puke. That's literally the only thing. Otherwise you can stay close to him. That one. So you just like pay attention to his mouth, and when it goes like green, yellow, whatever that color is, you step away. Unless you're sitting on like an Inquisitor seal or something, and you can probably tank it. It's all levels and difficulties. check out like our first legendary item from this quest as well when we talk to like the Inquisitor Creed in Fort Icon. Hopefully it's going to be an item that we could actually use, but 95% of the time it is a summoner item. Legendary gloves, Chaos Vitality. I mean, it is not bad. It is not bad. It doesn't have cast speed, but it is okay-ish. Simply because like it has 70 offensive ability, which is okay. It's just like we have a little bit of like Aether resistance and HP on it as well. It's okay-ish, but let's see the attack story at the very end. It's a little bit too loud. And this is basically going to be the end of like part 2 also. Alright. On the part 3, we are basically going to like run Bastion of Chaos first. We might even run a Steps of Torment. We might run Port Valkyrie. Just so that like we play like a completionist, like possibly a new player is playing, and afterwards we'll start the Ashes of Malmouth after taking like the Devotion Shrine of Mokruken. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the part 3, and I will now clean my bags, I suppose, before closing this. Quite bad. Rings. No. When you're getting to level 50, just like level 35 is another... No, actually, like, was it even like before that? Let me see. It's actually, in fact, level 40. So, at level 40, you care about being honored more than caring about being respected this time. So, if you can get to honored, like, above level 40 on something, it's pretty good. Then you can start buying some augmentations